friends! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sasha. Today we're doing a library haul and just a general discussion of what I hope to read in the month of February. It's going to be a little bit of a repeat if you were here for my reading slump video. I'm still making my way through some of those books. I am part of 2 book clubs on top of also trying to do the Books in Lala Storygraph challenges. There is a word-based challenge and there is also an image or cover-based challenge. So in total each month I need to read at least 4 books in order to satisfy all of those commitments. The book clubs are obviously stricter commitments. Like, I'm part of the book club, I'm going to show up, I got to read those books. But then the Storygraph challenges are just sort of fun to widen what I'm choosing to read from, and thankfully my library had one of the books for the challenges. And then some of the other things I've just seen the authors talking about on Blue Sky and have been very interested and decided I gotta pick up books the first week of February, might as well add these to my list. So that's what I did. Editing Sasha here. Before we begin the rest of the video, we're going to take a quick pause to hear a word from our sponsor. Hey there friends, it's me, Sasha, and today's sponsor is my Etsy shop, Dreaming of Stars Co. Have you ever wished you could match the vibe of your favorite book to a bookmark? Have you ever started reading a book but wanted to take a break and realized there was nothing close by except the last receipt from your library to use to hold your place? Hey, we're here to listen. We don't judge. Whether it's dark romance, queer, indie, fantasy, sci-fi, nonfiction, we've got bookmark designs just for you. And when I say we, it's really just me, but the we makes it sound, you know, official or something. All my bookmarks are made right here in this very room. By me, myself, Sasha Marie. You can use code WELCOME10 on your first order for a discount. Thank you so much for watching. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. So I still have a book I need to read for my February book club. I need to finish and start, really. Start and then finish. Iron Widow, which is a young adult fantasy. I own a copy of that book. And then both of my February book clubs will be finished. For March, my first book club pick is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. This will be, if memory serves correct, my very first V.E. Schwab book, which is crazy because she was such a staple and auto-buy author for so many people on BookTube for so many years. So I really don't know how I missed her and missed these books. Well, not this book specifically because this is one of her newer releases, but a lot of the, like, I think there are Shades of Magic series potentially. I know she's done some like YA series. Anyway, this is going to be my first V.E. Schwab. Let's read the blurb together. This is for the book club I'm a part of, not the book club I am running. Oh, there's stars on the inside. There's also stars on the back too. I'm very excited. Okay. Oh, it's blurbed by Naomi Novik, who I have on my shelves but I have not read yet. Okay. Never pray to the gods that answer after dark. France, 1714. In a moment of desperation, a young woman named Adeline meets a dangerous stranger and makes a terrible mistake. As she realizes the limitations of her Faustian bargain, being able to live forever without being able to remember anyone she sees, Addie chooses to flee her small village as everything she once held dear is torn away. But there are still dreams to be had and a life to live, and she is determined to find excitement and satisfaction in the wide, beckoning world, even if she will be doomed to be alone forever. Or not quite alone, as every year on her birthday, the alluring Luke comes to visit, checking to see if she is ready to give up her soul. Their darkly thrilling game stretches through the ages, seeing Addie witness history and fight to regain herself as she crosses oceans and tries on various lives. It will be 300 years before she stumbles into a hidden bookstore and discovers someone who can remember her name, and suddenly everything changes again. Just from the description and the blurb alone, it's almost reminding me of A Dowry of Blood, which is a Dracula Wives inspired retelling. And in that story, we watched the wife and all of Dracula's sort of cohort of people travel through time, and obviously they can't die either, but they couldn't let anyone like remember them, and also anyone who could remember them ends up dying. So I'm having like interesting vampire crossovers, even though this is not a vampire story. But the concept is very similar, and I'd never really pieced that together, that if you took out the vampirism, we could have a story like this. So I'm excited to read this one. A little magical realism, a little speculative fiction. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. The title makes a lot more sense already, and I haven't even read it yet. The other book I'll be reading for March for my book club is Triple Sec, and I'll be doing that one on audiobook. I'm pretty sure my Spotify premium membership has that book available. So very excited to get that one started. Should have some really fun poly representation, which satisfies our queer section of our diverse, disabled, and queer reads. So very excited to start that one. I am opening it up. By the time you see this, it's already happened to more virtual members. So if you're 21 and older, if you consider yourself diverse, queer, disabled, any of or all of those things, you can shoot me a message over on Blue Sky, or you can email me, and we can discuss adding you to the group. The group is 21 and up, and we mostly read fantasy and romance, so also keep that in mind. Moving into some of the Storygraph challenges, the first one was in the title have water, or like ocean or lake or something. So I have had this on my TBR for a while, not like years and years, because I think it got published pretty recently. It was published last year, so pretty much before it got published I heard about it and I saved it to my TBR. Let me just tell you, it's Ocean's Godori by Elaine Yu Cho. I am obsessed with this cover. I hope you can see it, okay? It's so pretty. I'm so excited. This is science fiction, and this obviously satisfies the ocean category. I believe this is also set in or inspired by Korean culture and myth. So let's read the blurb together. I've been trying to get my friend M to read this book because M is really into learning Korean. She is like really masterful at the language, and she watches a lot of Korean shows. She is into Korean media a lot, and I'm excited to read this first and then be able to recommend it to her if I think it's a good fit. So here we go. Ocean Yoon has never felt very Korean, even if she is descended from a long line of Hanyo. My Korean pronunciation not always great. Jeju Island's beloved female divers, and my friend M also loves reading about Jeju Island. I was like, M, you gotta read this book. Okay, I'll convince her. It'll happen. She doesn't like soju, constantly misses cultural references, and despite her love of the game, people still say that she doesn't play Hwatu like a Korean. Ocean's only persona non grata at the Alliance, Korea's solar system, dominating space agency since a mission went awry, and she earned a reputation for being a little too quick with her gun. When her best friend Tio, second son of Anad Tech Empire, is framed for murdering his family, Ocean and her misfit crewmates are pushed to the forefront of a high-stakes ideological conflict. But dodging bullets and winning space chases may be the easiest part of what comes next. A thrilling adventure across the solar that delivers hyperkinetic action sequences and irresistible will they won't they romance alongside its nuanced exploration of colonialism and capitalism. I'm so sold. Ocean's Godori ultimately asks, what do we owe our past? How do we navigate our present while honoring the complicated facets of our identity? What can our future hold? I also feel like no one has checked out this book. It's pretty new, 2024. I'm so excited to get my grubby little hands on it. I promise they'll be clean. But oh my god, this ticks off so many boxes. I'm currently in a little bit of like a Chinese deep dive right now. I'm doing the Duolingo Chinese. There's another app I'm studying Chinese on. I'm watching the Chinese dramas. But my heart will first and foremost always belong to South Korean culture thanks to K-pop and 2020. And I dove in pretty hard to South Korean culture, but I never studied the language as much as I wish that I had. I pretty much learned the alphabet, and then that was kind of it. And then the more that I just watch like K-pop shows in general, the more words I pick up. But once I have a better grasp of Chinese in general, I think I want to start doing both Chinese and Korean and going back to studying both because I'm just fascinated by different cultures and want to branch out more and read new and exciting things that I have like a special interest in because that's sometimes the only way I can do it. I really struggle with nonfiction. That's not something I gravitate towards. So if I can get like little glimpses of cultures that are different from mine through fantasy and through sci-fi, that's what we're doing. So stay tuned, I'll let you know how this is. Up next is not a library book, it is a book that I own, and this one is for the Storygraph challenge of the cover having some sort of like landscape where it's like either a cityscape or like mountains, whatever. I picked Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. So you can see the tiniest part, it's there, very tiny landscape. I have owned this book for so many years. Oh, it's so pretty. I legitimately couldn't tell you how many years. It does have the deckled edges, which not everyone loves. It also has a ribbon. Like, it's fancy. It is, okay, fancy. I was looking for the publication date. 2014 was when this was published. I probably got this book. When do I think I got this? I just crumpled the sticker up. Maybe that had the date on it. Because I got it at a used bookstore. Let me see. It looks like I probably got this in 2016. So 2 years after it was published, 2016, I've had this book for almost 10 years. Haven't read her yet. We're gonna try and change that this month. So, let's read the blurb together, shall we? An untested young princess must claim her throne, learn to become a queen, and combat a malevolent sorceress in an epic battle between light and darkness in this spectacular debut, the first novel in a trilogy. Young Kelsey Riley was raised in hiding after the death of her mother, Queen Alyssa. Far from the intrigues of the royal keep and in the care of two devoted servants who pledged their lives to protect her. Growing up in a cottage deep in the woods, Kelsey knows little of her kingdom's haunted past, or that its fates will soon rest in her hands. Long ago, Kelsey's forefathers sailed away from a decaying world to establish a new land free of modern technology. 300 years later, this feudal society has divided into three fearful nations who pay duties to a fourth, the powerful Mortmesnay, ruled by the cunning Red Queen. Now, on Kelsey's 19th birthday, the tattered remnants of the Queen's Guard, loyal soldiers who protect the throne, have appeared to escort the princess on a perilous journey to the capital to ascend to their rightful place as new Queen of the Tearling. Continued on the back flap. God damn, this is a long synopsis. Though born of royal blood and in possession of the Tear Sapphire, a jewel of immense power and magic, Kelsey has never felt more uncertain of her ability to rule. But the shocking evil she discovers in the heart of her realm will precipitate, I had to say it really slow, precipitate an act of immense daring, throwing the entire kingdom into turmoil, and unleashing the Red Queen's vengeance. A cabal of enemies with an array of deadly weapons, from crimson-caped assassins to the darkest blood magic, plots to destroy her. But Kelsey is growing in strength and stealth, her steely resolve earning her royal allies, including the Queen's Guard, led by enigmatic Lazarus. I was going to say Lazarus, which technically is what the letters are, but that's not the inflection and intonation and everything. Anyway. And the intriguing outlaw known simply as the Fetch. Love triangle? Kelsey's quest to save her kingdom and meet her destiny has only just begun. Riddled with mysteries, betrayals, and treacherous battles, Kelsey's journey is a trial by fire that will either forge a legend or destroy her. Oh my god. Sounds like an epic fantasy in the making. It's a chunky one. It's pretty thick. I was was gonna maybe read this closer to the end of the month, so that if I do get sucked into this series, I can request the next 2 books from my library if they're available. I think that might be the plan. Anyway, we gotta move on because we have 3 more books to talk about. Coming up next are 2 books in a series. It's a duology, I'm pretty sure, so I said, yep, sign me up for both. And I follow this author on Blue Sky, and with the recent release of the newest Fourth Wing book, this author was like, hey, you like that? Check out this. And I was like, bet, I do want to check that out. So we have The Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport, and then we also have The Blood Gift, book 1 and book 2. In this video, I'm obviously only going to read the blurb for book 1 because I don't want to be spoiled already for book 2. So this is very exciting. I really enjoy this author and their personality on social media. Obviously, I don't know them personally, but let's read this blurb together. So sad the sticker literally covers her whole face. I'll put a picture of the actual cover so you can actually see what it looks like. But okay, let's get started. Here we go. It's all about blood. The blood spilled between the Republic of Maureen and the armies of the Blood Emperor long ago. The blood gifts of Maureen's, I'm trying not to say Maureen's deadliest enemies. The blood that runs through the elite war houses of Maureen, the rulers of the tribunal dedicated to keeping the Republic alive. The blood of the former Legatus commander, Vern Amari, murdered. For his granddaughter, Akina, the only thing steady in her life was the man who had saved Maureen. The man who had trained her not just in martial skills, but in harnessing the blood gift that coursed through her. Who trained her to keep that a secret? But now there are too many secrets, and with her grandfather assassinated, Akina knows 2 things: that only someone on the tribunal could have ordered his death, and that only a Praetorian Guard could have carried out the order. Bent on revenge as much as on discovering the truth, Akina pledges herself to the Praetorian Trials, a brutal initiation that only a quarter of the aspirants survive. She subjects herself to the racism directed against her half Canadian, Khanaian. Canadian. I'm sorry, this is how my brain works. Don't make fun of me. This is how I learn new words. Okay. Canadian heritage and the misogyny of a society that cherishes progeny over progeny, all while hiding a power that, if found out, would subject her to execution or worse. Akina is willing to risk it all because she needs to find out who murdered her grandfather, and then she needs to kill them. Maureen has been at peace for a long time. Akina joining the Praetorians is about to change all that. Magic and technology converge in the first part of this stunning debut duology, where loyalty to oneself and one's blood is more important than anything. A trial story, but hopefully one that works for me and one that is as entertaining as it is anxiety-inducing. We will find out in this duology together. The last book on my list is one I've talked about 10,000 times because I'm still trying to get through Dragonfall, okay? If January wasn't such a bad reading month for me, I would have returned this today because it was due back at the library today. But I was like, hi, I need to return this to you because I can't renew it any more times. But if no one is waiting for this book, can I check it back out? And they checked. No one was waiting for it, which is a crime because so many people have said this was their favorite book of 2024. So I need to get the word out that this is a great book by reading it and telling people and shouting from the rooftops that this is a great book. So this is definitely like front of mind. I have a few other things I need to read first. Like I said, I have to read Iron Widow before my book club in 3 days. I also have an arc I also need to read in 4 days. So those are the first 2 books I'll be working on. And then is there anything else after that? I think we'll probably read Dragonfall next. Then I'll be working on The Invisible Life of Addie LaRoe. Then I'll be listening to the audiobook of Triple Sec, and then I'll have no more anxiety until March 1st when I get my new batch of book club books that come in and a new batch of Storygraph challenge books that come in. But then I can just read in whatever order I want for the rest of the month. So that's the plan. That's the stack of books we're dealing with here. I didn't tell you about Dragonfall because I've already hauled it on this channel twice in 2 different library haul videos. So you can absolutely go check those out if you want to hear about it. I didn't feel like repeating myself, and I hope you appreciate that. If you watch all my videos, you don't want to hear me talk about it again and again and again. Anyway, that's all the books. I gotta edit some videos today, and then I'm gonna be reading for the rest of the day, but thank you so much for being here. I'll see you guys next time. Happy reading! Happy February. It's not gonna be February when you see this. It's probably March already. Wish me luck! Bye!